Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It's I, your travel god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a beautiful Friday afternoon video, March the 21st, 2025. Thank you for watching right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now, and all that other good shit that you all know and love. And if you're here for the first time, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab that cold one. Apple juice, by the way. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. You like it? Great. You know, keep it moving. And that's that. Alright, no big fancy intro because I have to run out to physical therapy for a little bit. And then I'll be back to record. I'm going to record my NXT review. And then I'm out for the night because I'll be going to Madison Square Garden to see Disturbed with the missus and some friends. So I won't do my SmackDown review until late tonight. Probably like 12, maybe 1 o'clock. We'll see how I feel by then. If my neck is still intact, my hearing's still intact, everything's still intact. But we'll see what happens with that. But that's coming up a little bit later tonight. So got that. So anyway, really quickly, want to do a really quick video talking about Monday Night Raw. And this past week's episode from Forest National in Brussels, Belgium, on the start of the European, not the start, but the continuation of the European tour. We're going to be, SmackDown's going to be in Italy today. It's starting in about an hour and a half from now, so that's tape delay here, there. So we're going to see it tonight at 8 o'clock on the USA Network, but we'll get the spoilers anyway. So have fun on your live streams if you're watching it on Netflix, because that's the only way you can watch it. If you don't want to watch it later at night to get the spoilers, I mean, whatever you want to do. Alright, so you had a little change in commentary. Mitchell Cole and Corey Slave, because Pat McAfee, I don't even think he's doing the European tour, so we probably won't see him for a couple weeks, but we got Corey Slave back. Great to see him there. And, that's that. Alright, so I just want to give my thoughts. You understand? Your thoughts. My thoughts. Not your thoughts, but my thoughts. But if you want to give your thoughts, then put it down below in the comments section. But here's my thoughts. My spot, dog spot, neighbor spot, but my spot about Monday Night Raw. Alright. Let me talk about John Cena and his first official promo since turning heel at the Elimination Chamber. Comes out, same music, new merchandise. Fans don't buy it. And basically, Cena cuts a Sting / Bret Hart type promos. Like, I don't care about the fans. I don't care about anybody but myself. Fans are booing, saying Cena sucks. So, you know, Cena's like, oh, classy for people in Belgium. Then he's like, I'm not a babyface. I'm not a heel. I'm a human being. Kind of like Roman back in the day says, I'm not just a guy. I'm the guy. Type of thing. So basically tells the fans, I never liked you. And he says that, talks about the kids. Like, I don't like this kid right here wearing my merchandise. He's in a toxic relationship with me. And then he basically dumps the fans, dumps the kids, because fuck the kids. Basically, that's that. So, nothing out of the ordinary. And then Cody! MDK Cody comes out, basically saying, what the fuck is this? I expected, heel Cena, and I get this? It's like, when I see you at WrestleMania, I want to see John Cena, not this whiny little bitch. Oh, Cody's so scary. With your fucking promo that bored the fuck out of us. I mean, it was good. But still, I mean, I'm not feeling this feud right now. I'm not. So, I don't know what's going to happen today at SmackDown. or today/tonight on SmackDown. I assume they're going to be in the same building next week for Raw and SmackDown next week, so I think the European tour ends next week. And they were back in the States on the road to WrestleMania. So, we'll see what happens with that. But, yeah, just wanted to talk a little bit about that. And then Michael Cole calls Cena a prick. A rational prick. Oh, Cole. Flip-flopping like you always do. How much did you call Roman a prick for 4 fucking years? And now that Roman's like, he's back and he's kicking ass. Like, oh, I love Roman, my tribal chief. No, we don't acknowledge you, Michael Cole. Fuck you, alright? And Michael Cole might be actually going to the Hall of Fame. I mean, deserved, but still. He's still a prick. So we got that. Alright, then we had, Pentagon Zero Miedo taking on Marcel Barthel in the no disqualification match. Brutal. That it was. Penta wins with a Canadian Destroyer on a chair. Ow. Even though Pentagon landed on it. Ow. And then he hits the Pentagon driver. 1, 2, 3. Beats Marcel to stay undefeated. After match, Pentagon thanks the fans in Spanish/English and says he's coming for the Continental title, so he's still thinking about Okada and AEW a little bit, but it's the Intercontinental title. So there you go. Alright, we see Dakota Kai go into the ring, Killer Cross, starts talking to Dom Dom. Wonder what that could be about. So speaking of Dom Dom, we go to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Finn thanks Dom for getting him an Intercontinental title shot later on against Braun Breaker, which did not go well. Dom still thinks of adding Pentagon. He actually wants to add Pentagon to the team, and Finn's like, no. And then Balor's like, hey, didn't you hear Pentagon wants a shot at the Intercontinental title? And then Carter's like, you didn't watch the show, do you? Shit. Alright, so we get that, and move on. Then we get the Dakota Kai and Ivy Nile in a ridiculously boring match. Chad Gable and the rest of America made the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus at ringside. The LWO come out, basically Ray, Dragon Lee come out. They get rid of the Creeds. Gable gets chased out of the arena, I think by the LWO as well. So he was not in the mask, obviously. And then Dakota Kai, once again, beats Ivy Nile to get the win in under 3 minutes. Did I say under 3 minutes? So we get that. Nothing to write home about. Moving on. Alright, then we get to the contract signing between, was supposed to be Bianca and Io. Io continues her, you will not disrespect me, I am the women's champion, Bianca! And Bianca's like, I don't give a shit. Dressing almost like a whore. Nothing wrong with that, Montez Ford, So, and then, Mommy! Rhea Ripley comes out, gets in Bianca's face saying, I'm just here to watch, right? She's like, I'm not pleased, and Bianca shoves her, and then, Mommy, basically puts Bianca on the table, which didn't break, and then picks up Io, powerbombs her onto Bianca and the table, which still didn't break, Japanese table, no pun intended, with Io. And then Rhea signs the contract, even though she's not in the match yet. And then later on, Adam Pearce is saying, hey, you can't sign the contract, you're not in the match. And Mommy's like, oh, I don't give a shit, I signed it now. So we'll see what happens with that next week. We got that. Jay Uso is all ready to face Walter. Then he runs into Walter. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. Another fight. They start arguing, pushing and shoving. Lame-ass fuck security breaks it up. At least they did something for once. We get that. Jey Uso then goes to the ring, beats Austin Theory in 30 seconds. boy, they really are burying Austin Theory, huh? I mean, why can't they just break him and Grayson Waller up? I mean, he was at ringside, didn't do anything. 30 seconds? Are you serious? That's really... Austin Theory should freaking ask for his release. Or go to NXT. Or go back to Evolve where we actually saw him become the Evolve champion, because he was the last one, I think. No, well, was it? No, was it him? No, he was champ, and I think the last champ was either Darby or Gargano before Evolve went bye-bye for a little while. Now it's back, but with indie people. Nothing wrong with that. Save the Steel and other people that are not on the roster, pretty much not on the roster, and then you have Wendy Chu show up in Evolve? Huh? I don't get that, but okay. So Wendy Chu goes from Tianxia to Pajama Woman, creepy Wendy Chu. After that, gets involved with Rosemary. Rosemary beats her ass, and now she's back as I don't know what Wendy Chu, and now she's on Evolve. Ugh. Just turn her back to Karen Chu and let her just run amok on the indies again. So anyway, we move on. Jey Uso wins in 30 seconds over Austin Theory. And then after the match, Jey Uso tries for a flippy-dippity-doo onto them and kind of botched it. Almost hurt himself severely. That WrestleMania match would have been history. But he's okay. He lands on the apron. Gets in the ring. He's like, "Oh, I'm okay." Yeet. Fans go like, "Oh, we didn't recognize the botch." And then Walter comes in for a sleeper. This time Jay fought out of it. They brawl. And then Jay takes the belt off of Walter, who somehow gets it back, and then goes bye-bye, and then more yeet. And that's it. And then people are like, "Oh, Jey Uso botched. He's not world champion ready. He's gonna win, and you're still gonna complain. So deal with it, fucking marks." All right, we get that. Like I said, Adam Pearce yells at Mommy Rhea Ripley about signing the contract, saying, you're talking like a little child. You're being a big baby about it. And then Rhea gives the contract back once in the match. Bianca comes in. They have a big fight. Io joins in. Chicanery. And then Adam Pearce and one referee break this up. Huh? Where's the fuck was security? Were they taking a nap? Were we eating Belgian waffles in the back in catering? Natalia makes some great Belgian waffles. I'm sorry, but it is what it is. We got that. Then we had the Creed brothers taking on the LWO, Ray and Dragon Lee. LWO gets the win after Ray hits the 619 into dropping a dime. Under 6-minute match, nothing to write home about. And then after the match, the Max Luchador, Chad Gable, runs in, jumps them. Some German suplexes, and then he gets run off by security again. Everybody thinks it's Rey Fenix. I don't know, but it's not Rey Fenix. He doesn't look like Rey Fenix in the mask. It's Chad Gable, and everybody knows it. We get that. Alright, then we go look back at the Tribal Chief. Put up your ones. Roman Reigns attacking Seth Rollins last week. After last week's main event in the cage. Costing CM Punk the match. Reigns takes out Punk in the cage right next to Paul Heyman. So we get that. So we see Seth Rollins in more actual normal gear this time. Nothing from the Men's Warehouse this time. Not that there's any in Belgium. Not that I know of. Basically, he does his catchphrases. And basically says, "Hey, I might be on SmackDown this Friday." Because Roman and Punk might be on. Well, Roman definitely. Punk, I don't know, but... So he's like, "I'll be in Italy this Friday. and we'll do something that actually matters. Like what? Talk? Well, we'll see what happens with that. There we have AJ Styles. Doesn't think Logan Paul belongs in around the WWE, you think? And then Killer Cross and Scarlet Bordeaux. Oh my. They come in, I'm like, oh, you got great hair, and one great looking woman with a nice set of tatas. Oy, oy, oy. So, got that. Cross thinks AJ might be mad at himself, so AJ goes to leave, and then Cross kind of gets him to stay. He's like, hey, get back here, I gotta talk to you about something. You wanna bang Scarlett? No, he didn't say that. If he asked me that, I'd be a little bit nervous, but I digress. So he asks how long it took to get to WWE, and he's like, it didn't take Logan Paul 17 years to get to WWE, but AJ says this ain't working out for me. So AJ finally does leave, and then Killer Cross goes, I think it's working. So the mind games continue with whatever gimmick Cross is doing right now. He's got nothing else to do. Final Testament, bye-bye. The Wyatt Six are supposedly coming back soon with the cryptic tweets. And they're putting up on X. Uncle Howdy is medically cleared to come back, so any time now we'll see the Wyatt Six back, with or without Ms. Bliss, who's not gonna be at WrestleMania, which boggles my mind. You bring her back for the Royal Rumble, you have a couple matches, you put her in the Elimination Chamber, she loses, obviously. She gets eliminated. And then, we don't have nothing for Alexa anymore. So why'd you bring her back? Just for 2 pay-per-views? Bye. Go hang out with Ryan Cabrera and your lovely, kid. It's just stupid. We get that. Then, Braun Breaker stares down Pentagon in the back. I think we might get a multi-man ladder match, just with the kind of saying that for Mania for the Intercontinental title. Shades of WrestleMania 31, I think? 31, I think. When, I think it was, Kevin had the belt and defended in a ladder match, which I think was won by either Bryan Danielson, or wasn't it, Mr. Matt Cardona. But that didn't last that long. Like his sex life, but that's another story for another time. Anyway. Alright, then we get a Triple H Hall of Fame video for the game. That. There are rumors, like I said, Michael Cole maybe going to the Hall of Fame. Kamala! Uganda! Kamala! Kamala might be going into the Hall of Fame. I thought he was already in. You know, God rest his mighty soul. I don't know who would induct him. Maybe, well, it can't be Mr. Fuji, he passed away. I don't know about Kimchi, if he's still alive. So if anybody, it'd probably be The Rock. Because he kept making fun of Kamala. Alright, so we get that. Alright, then we go to Fiend Balor and Braun Breaker for the IC belt. Judgment Day tries to offer the distraction. You know, Dom Dom comes out, fucks up again, tries to take the belt. That didn't work. Carlito tries to come out. That didn't work. I think Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were at ringside. That didn't help. Braun Breaker basically hits a super, almost fell on his ass, Frankensteiner, into a super spear. You don't see that very often from the big man. And he retains the belt in pretty much 12 and a half minutes. Then after the match, Judgment Day goes after the champ, but then Pentagon runs in for the save, and you know what might be coming up? A tag team match, player! So, like I said, pretty much we got four, maybe 5 guys in that match. Braun defending against Finn, Dom Dom, Pentagon, and probably Marcel Barthel. That's 5. So like I said, Finn, Dom, Marcel, Pentagon, Braun defending, obviously. Then you probably have a 6th guy, maybe Sheamus. I don't know who else at this point, but I mean, we'll have to see what happens with that. And that pretty much ends the show. So, Raw, decent at best. I gave it 6.5 out of 5 stars. So we'll see what happens in about an hour and a half from now with SmackDown. Probably get the results while I'm probably in New York City, waiting online or, during intermission between bands and everything. So we'll see what happens with that. So we move on. Alright, so let me get out of here. I gotta run out, guys. I'll be back in about an hour or so. Not hour, but about 2 hours or so to get my NXT review up and done, and then I'm pretty much out. As soon as I'm done, like I'll be home probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish, so I'll get the NXT review done hopefully by 5-ish, because I am getting my friends are picking me up, me and the missus up to go to the city, so we'll be in the city by 6. And then we got the meet and greet to do. And then the show starts, I think, at 7:30. So 7:30. I mean, it doesn't matter, but we're gonna get there extra early. Well, depending on, we find ways to get there easy, because we take the side streets, so we don't have to fuck around and get to New York and everything. Blah 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 blah, because we beat traffic easy. So that's that. So I'll probably be out of here by around 5-ish, and I'll probably be in the city by 5:30, and then I'll be at the VIP, and then probably be done before the show starts, and then probably be hanging out with my friends in the God's country watching Disturbed. So I'm gonna have fun. Probably won't be taking pictures, because you know how fucking MSG security is. You gotta be lucky to even get pictures. I almost got my phone confiscated at the David Gilmour concert during his last tour that he did at the Garden. It was last year. Almost got my phone confiscated, which would have been really bad. Not this phone, my actual phone. That would have been really bad. But in any case, I do have those are on my private page, but it is what it is. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in a couple hours for your NXT review over on my Peter Joseph channel. But until next time, peace and rock on.